Hello everybody, the confunction of a timer. In relation to the last subject of realignment of time, it will fund the element of design for the protocol because in that way the protocol will work out the manana. The manana is a division to complex itself into network 5 in relation to BOC. BOC is 1 on 3, 3 on 1 and 1 on 2 for the composition of the element of design for the protocol because the protocol will rework itself into the day of 1143 dimension 1 in relation to Soho. Soho is unperhapsing itself into the deed of 1 on 3 for the plekken. Plekken is 1 on time, 12 on time and 3 on time for the position of the timer for Doki Poki. The Doki Poki will be inside of 1 on time for the door to heaven. In relation to the door to heaven, it is the composition of the element of design for the protocol of network 1. In that way, the 5 ruler will be bashing itself into the composition. The composition will tessay itself into the dimension, as in that way the composition will undo itself into the concon. The manuscript will rework itself into the Pakistan of law based upon the element of law by the position, because in that time the position of the element will send the sun to the signal of 5341, which is the third dimension. The third dimension in relation to the exporting degree is 5 on time, 5 on time, 1 on time, and 3 on time by the border. Any border in relation to the Tipanang of law based upon the element of law is a composition. The composition will reweave itself into the door of KK19. The KK19 is the fifth division to complex itself into network 1. In the OSO Foundation, it is the upgrade to 32TO, 305 and 601 in relation to the magazine. The magazine will console itself into the subject of 1 on time, 3 on time, and 5 on time by the border. Any border in the dimension of the element, it will weave itself into the element of design for the protocol of network 5. And in that day 10, it is the consumption of the pure soul. The pure soul is within me to function the element of design for the protocol. Any protocol or the network for the DD5, DD5 is the consumption of the pyramid for the DD1 in relation to the pyramid. The pyramid of DD1, PP5 and PP5 is a consumption of the Mankanang. The Mankanang is the Tashkana and the element of design for the protocol. Vocabulary will practice into the seed of the needed in relation to a hellholder to the Mokkasido law of the composition. The composition will rework itself into the door of heaven to the machine and to upgrade itself into the element of design for the protocol. The protocol is network 5 based upon the element of design for the console. Any console based upon the conjunction of the timer, it will bash itself into the element of design and the element of design for the protocol of network 1. So in that way, when it does that, it will compromise the issue of the matter to sing along in the day of heaven. In the day of heaven, the composition of a time is 3p, 3p, 3p by the fifth border by the third dimension. In that way, the dimension will select the internal frame for the mainframe reactor. The mainframe reactor will destroy itself into Plutón of the planet. And in that day, when each planet joins itself into the consumption, it will undo itself into the element designed for the protocol of network 5. And in that day, it is 10 cents D time. The 10 cents D time is the confunction of the pyramid for the controller for the manure to manifest itself for the mainframe reactor. The mainframe reactor will transform itself into the third element of design for the protocol or the element of design for the protocol of network 1. And in that day, this computer change will be Imlay. So the Imlay is the Tutkanam of law based upon the element of law by the position of the timer to control itself into the Maskan. The Maskan is the fifth ruler by the Jora to implement the design of the computer to sequence into application form by the Pakistan. The Pakistan is 1 on time, 12 on time, and 3 on time by the fifth border. So in the third dimension, it is the way in to control itself into network 5. So this computer will change into the Taksanam, the third border. So when it does that, it will compromise the issue of the matter to sing along into the Tantan, which is border 2. So in border 2 of this computer, it will mnemonize the understanding of the life cycle to span itself into the fifth way. and the fifth wave by the fifth ruler is a dimension. Even so, each dimension is the anana of technology for pin out the kaka of 1 on 3, 1 on 3, and 1 on time for the ruler. Any ruler based upon the composition of a timer will sing along into the transfund. The transfund will protocol the network 5 based upon the element of design for the protocol. The protocol will be in third ruler by the maskana of law based upon the element of law by the condor. The condor is 5 cents, 6 cents, 3 cents, 2 cents, 4129, fifth division to complex itself into the network of 5. The manuscript will also show you how to do this to compromise the issue of the matter and to sing along. In the day of Transfund Protocol, the network of 5341 is the third dimension of the Anana. The third technology is the one in based upon the third controller, to and from the interlay of technology. The interlay of technology is 1P, 1P, 5P, 5P by the fifth ruler to dimension the element of design for the protocol of network 5. So, in a matter of time, it is the consumption of this computer to equalize the mathematician. The mathematician will work out the ruler of the world to conference into the mark in relation to knowing, as each mark is the consumption of the pyramid to conclude itself into the element of design and the third protocol. The third protocol will reweave itself into the element of the transfund. The transfund will reworm itself into the dimension of the element of design for the protocol, because each protocol will work out the segment of the IP address 132465541 and the other IP address is 2341 in relation to the consumption. So in that day, it is 10% G time.